In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a soap holder for taking in the bath or the shower. It's a fabulous sustainable project on all levels because you're going to use an old towel or an old toweling robe, and it's going to allow you to use traditional soap, which is much more eco-friendly than using shower gel. So as you can see, you're going to make a great little pouch that will trap your soap, and you can just use it directly as it is. So let's get started. I'm Christine of Christine's Crafts, and this channel is dedicated to crafting on a budget. So you're going to need your soap, and just make sure you know what size your soap generally is. You're going to need some cord or ribbon or something to hang it, and your actual toweling. And you only need a small piece, so you just need to cut out a section 13 inches by 6 inches. And that's for an average soap bar. Just be careful in case where you are you need larger or smaller. And just as a little warning, when you cut toweling out, you always get lots of bits. Don't worry. You're going to get rid of all of those as you sew your seams, but it can be a little bit messy, a little bit fluffy. So you need to cut a piece of ribbon or cord or whatever you're using for your hanger, and you need to cut it big enough to loop and go over what you're going to hang it over. And as a guide, mine's 8 inches, but you might need a longer loop. So fold it in half, and then you're going to measure approximately 1/3 of the way along your fabric, which is just over 4 inches, and clip or pin it to the edge. Now you'll notice the loop is facing in onto the fabric, and that's important. You need to make sure you sew it on that way so that the loop is on top of your fabric. And we're just going to secure that in place. So I can either hand stitch or nip over to the machine and really close to the edge so that it gets lost inside your seam allowance, which is 1/2 inch. Just secure it in place. So you'll see I just reversed over it so it doesn't come undone. This is mainly to hold it while we do the rest of the sewing. Otherwise it's really hard to make sure you've got it secure and it can wander about. So the next thing we're going to do is put a hem on either short end. So turn your fabric over and then fold over just 1/2 inch and secure it. You can use pins or clips, it doesn't matter. And we're just going to make a little hem so we don't have that raw edge. And you're going to do the same on the other end. So once you're happy with them, we're simply going to sew down each one. So it's back to your machine, start at one end and forward a little bit and then a little reverse. Again, you're just securing those threads. And then run all the way down. And just going to make it so much tidier. And you won't keep losing little bits of toweling while you're using it. So it's simply a case of repeat at the other end. Again, making sure you do your little reverse at the beginning and at the end. And then we can actually build the soap holder. So you need to mark 1/3 and 2/3 of the way along. So that's going to be at 4 inches and 8 inches. Because you've sewn your hems, it's only 12 inches long now. And then you're going to fold each side in to where you've marked it. So you've basically folded your whole piece of fabric into thirds. And on either short end, you're going to secure it in place. So you can pin or clip, but what you will notice is this is starting to get quite thick. So it's just a little warning for when you go over to the sewing machine. Because what you're going to do is sew along either one of those short sides using your 1/2 inch seam allowance. So just take your time at the machine. As ever, you're going to do a little reverse, run along, and a little reverse at the other end. But because of the hems you've already sewn, it is quite thick. So do be careful. If you need to use a stronger needle, take it slowly, but you should be okay. I only have a basic sewing machine and it coped absolutely fine, but you may have some very thick toweling. So once you've sewn it, it's time to turn it the right way out. And you should now have a soap holder. So just make sure you push out into those corners and your hanging loop should be in the corner. And you should now see that you've got that little envelope pocket in there that you can hide your soap in. So what this means is when you're using it, it won't drop out and be really, really annoying. So good luck making yours, and I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more great craft ideas. I have lots of tutorials, and a lot of them use things you've already got, so they're really good if you're on a budget and if you're trying to be sustainable.